Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping. And the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp, turned my collar to the cold and damp, where my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light, split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs that voices never shared. No one dare disturb the sound of silence. Fool, said I, you do not know. Silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you. Take my arms that I might reach you. But my words like silent raindrops fell and echoed in the wells of silence. People bowed and prayed to the neon god they made, and the sign flashed out its warning in the words that it was for me. And the sign said the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls and tenement halls, and whispered in the sounds of silence.
Moored alongside a port in Hamilton, Ontario, stands HMCS Haida. Haida was a tribal class destroyer from the Second World War and was present when one of the single largest losses of Canadian sailors in history occurred. On the 29th of April, 1944, Haida and her sister ship Athabaskan are patrolling the English Channel for German forces. 1 year from now, the war in Europe will end in just 8 days. At 3 a.m., Athabaskan, alongside her sister ship, Haida, are ordered to intercept and sink 2 German ships in the English Channel. And shortly, Haida and Athabaskan open fire on the 2 enemy warships. In response, the German vessels launch 12 torpedoes towards the Canadian forces. Haida manages to dodge them. However, Athabaskan isn't as lucky. A massive fireball alongside her hull signaled that she had been hit. In an attempt to shield Athabaskan, Haida lays down a smokescreen to obscure the German forces' vision. Haida then drives off the German destroyers before returning to the sinking wreck of Athabaskan. With morning light fast approaching, Haida's captain has to make a hard decision. If he stays to rescue the sailors of Athabaskan, he risks being attacked by German aircraft, losing 2 ships and their crew. But leaving the sailors behind in the English Channel is almost certain death. Haida's captain orders that the ship will stay for 15 minutes. After that, Haida must break for port. Out of 260 sailors aboard Athabaskan, Haida would successfully rescue 42 crew members. 85 would be taken prisoner. But 127 Canadian sailors would be lost that day.
Albert Alexander, G3408.
Norman Douglas Nicholson, SF59886.
Arthur Clarence James, B128533.
George Cordick, 178234.
Joseph Thistle, N800193.
Fred Borden, 101-80664.
Bernard McPherson, J19354.
James Evans, SF800384.
Stephen McPhee, SF21836.
James Oscar Lloyd, 79305. Ernest Locke, 434580.
I am from Canada, my home and native land.
From British Columbia.
Alberta,
Saskatchewan,
Manitoba,
Quebec.
From Ontario.
New Brunswick,
PEI,
Nova Scotia.
And Newfoundland. I am from the ever-changing landscape and seasons. I'm from fresh air on my face, looking up at the blue skies. I'm from the endless road ahead. I'm from a small town.
A big city.
a family farm,
crowded streets,
business conferences,
And from good morning to those I meet.
From a family.
Brothers.
sisters,
spouse,
daughters,
Sons. I'm from being alone.
from shared laughter, heated arguments, working in the fields, from eating dinner together at the end of the day, from leapfrog with my friends, running around outdoors, from playing and working hard until the sun goes down.
I'm from being 16,
17.
18,
22.
25.
31.
37.
45,
I am from the moment that is forever etched in my mind. I am from being called to serve, to battle, to fight the
Good fight.
I'm from being slightly thrilled, but also eyes wide open, terrified. My mother holding me tight and crying. My father nodding his head slowly, accepting my fate. From not knowing what to expect in the days to come, from not knowing that the days would become
Years. I am from the trenches and foxholes, our protection from the enemy, but not the elements. From the relentless rain and ensuing mud that fills them and chills me to my bones. From never being able to get warm, from the sweetness of cigarettes and letters from loved ones, from softly crying in the night, from desperately missing home.
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 I want to come home.
I'm from the sky lit up on fire, from the endless echoes of ammunition and the din of shells. I'm from seeing my friends go over the top, from not coming back, from not saying goodbye.
I am from the dog tag that identifies me when I die. I am from being more than a name and a number. I am from Flanders Fields, from between the crosses, row on row.
Albert Alexander, lost on April 27, 1945.
Norman Douglas Nicholson, lost on January 21st, 1952.
Arthur Clarence James, lost on June the 7th, 1944.
Joseph Thistle, lost on November 21st, 1950.
George Gordon, lost on the 11th of August, 1917.
Fred Borden, lost December the 8th, 1918.
Bernard McPherson, lost on October 25th, 1943.
James Evans, lost on December 11th, 1940.
Stephen McPhee, lost on March 24th, 1952.
James Oscar Lloyd, lost on April 6, 1916. Ernest Locke, lost on September 26, 1916.
We remember you.
By the swings in the park on a November day, I watched as my boys on the climbers did play, and there near the flag stood a man by the bell with a red petal flower placed on his lapel. I watched as he studied a wreath on the ground, a man all alone while the world rushed around. I could see in his face there was pain in his eyes as memories rush by like the clouds in the sky. And I thank my God for the brave ones He gave to keep us free, our rights to save, and the ones He took home are remembered well by the red petal flower placed on his lapel. What friends did you leave in the sea or the fields? What pain you endured because you would not yield until you could come home, knowing what you had done, allowed me to stand here in peace with my sons. He looked up at me and I nodded my head. Nothing was spoken till I finally said, "Thank you." He smiled and I left him alone and showed both my boys all those names on the stone. And I thank my God for the brave ones He gave to keep us free and our rights to save, and the ones he took home are remembered well by the red petal flower placed on my lapel. By the red petal flower placed on my lapel.